Hello, welcome to book club. Sorry, I always look at Seth every time because he always be giggling when I count down,
Just you
and
count
it like
on.
drives me like I love it honestly because it makes me laugh every time.
I'm so
But I
excited.
always look at. Um, welcome to book club. Today the boys and I, chapter 17 to 24, part three, Screwtape Letters. If you've been paying attention, that means the next part is spinning the wheel time. But
Ew.
wow,
Yeah, we have to
wheel,
get one of
wheel,
Howie's
wheel, wheel,
picks.
wheel.
Will.
Honestly, no, I want my three to be the last three. Okay. You know how cool that'd
Okay.
Really?
be? That way I
Okay.
know for a fact that all my books will be chosen.
The
Um,
wheel is just for Howie. It's like which one of his is going.
yeah,
Which one of
exactly. I'm
Howie's?
like, oh my guys, it's gonna be my book. It's gonna be my book this time. Finally. Uh, but yeah, excited to get into this one. There's one main theme I think throughout this part three, but before we get into that, Connor, how have you been?
I've been doing good. Been doing good. I've been working a bunch. Usually I have time to think about what I'm gonna say. Um,
That's
and
why he picked you first.
I
I'm
saw
trying to
that
spice it up,
mischievous look
I'm
that
trying to
Howie
spice it
had when he
up.
was he was thinking, "Who am I gonna call on right now?" I was like,
It's
"Please
fun
don't
being
be
the
me."
host, I ain't gonna lie.
No, I've just been working. Today I started paying my tuition payment for my next loan. And got my 401k set up for my company.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's
Oh, there you
go.
go.
Big
Starts
moves.
January 1st. Looking forward to it. Um,
You don't have to
but
say
yeah,
if
I'm
you don't
doing
want to, but
moves.
can I ask how much percentage you're putting into your 401k?
I'm doing 5%.
Gang.
I'm
Okay,
putting in 5%. My company matches up to 4. So,
makes sense.
Whoa,
uh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's
So I'm
pretty
gonna
makes
good.
get
sense.
9%. That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Doing a Roth as well, so I'm just gonna pay the tax on it now, so I don't have
Nice.
to worry about it.
When we're
So
young,
by
the
the
Roth is where
time
it's at.
it is,
You
yeah.
want to do a Roth
They
when you
just
when you're young.
Yeah, I don't want to get to 65 and they'd be like, yeah, so I know the US dollar used to be $1 is like good, but now it's like $1 million is $1, and you got to pay $10 billion in taxes to pull this out. So
Don't
Correct.
speak that evil on me.
come on.
Okay.
I
No,
don't
the
want that inflation,
I researched
please.
into
It's
this
already
quite a
so
bit.
much.
Finances. Apparently, you want to do the Roth when you think you're going to be in a lower income bracket than like when you pull
Hmm.
out your money. That's when you want to do the
Yeah.
Roth.
Yep.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of why I'm doing it too, because I don't know. Like right now, trades are doing really good because all of the old heads are retiring. So
Mm.
everyone's like, "Hey, we need tradesmen, so please come. We'll pay you a lot of money." But eventually, I'm going to be one of those old heads, and if a bunch of people do it now, like I did, then I
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
be
Do
into in it the when lower income it's bracket. Yeah,
you
yeah.
You got
ever
to get
think
into the
about?
trade
Do you
whenever
ever think
it's.
about how your trade's going to be when you're an old head? Like, do you think about like, how much
Dude,
different it's going to be?
dude, it's already changed so much since I started. Like,
Oh no.
yeah, I mean, every year, dude, they're just like coming out with new ideas. Like these engineers, man,
We can't help. We can't stop.
can't help it. They're like, what if
Reinvent the
we
wheel.
What I know we already have 3 control boards in here for 3 different
Call
things, but what
back.
if we added another one? Like, and then
Well,
what if we
now,
make an AI control it? It's
yeah,
like,
because you
oh
need a
no,
control board to control the control
control
boards.
Yeah,
boards? Yeah.
So there's
I mean
one
that
single.
you're
yeah.
defining a thermostat controlling a control board
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
Well,
It's like
Connor.
I'm kind of joking, but I'm also not.
No, I mean
Like,
like literally like it used to be thermostat controls with the control board. Now they're throwing in like economizer controllers and like all this other shit. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like we got enough $4,000 boards in here already. Like, come on.
more.
You
But
kind
Talk
of you put
about
AI on it.
justify my purpose.
What do you say, David?
I was gonna say, that what you just mentioned about not a lot of people getting into the industry and a lot of the old heads retiring, that makes me think a lot about the tool and die industry. This side rant, but that's a very interesting industry if y'all haven't heard of it. It's the people
What's
who make
the
the stuff to make things.
yeah,
Oh,
wait? What's the wait? Tool? Can you like elaborate a little bit
like
Tool
more?
and tool and die industry. It's the people who make the machines to make machines.
Like
Oh, it's like
presses and shit.
it's
Yeah.
like it's kind of like selling pickaxes during the gold mine,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. And
GPUs during the
yeah,
AI.
exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Exactly.
about. Yeah,
It's
that's
essentially
very common practice. Yeah, that's a very
it's a lucrative
business
practice.
practice.
Not a lot of
Yeah,
people are going into it. So the
no,
industry
because
is
it's not as
great.
flashy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
But
it's really
that's where you
not.
make the most. Like you're not mining gold. You're not going to get gold,
No.
but you're going to make a lot of money from people who keep on trying to mine gold.
Exactly.
No, dude, I
Exactly.
think about that shit a lot. Like the amount of screws or like electrical connectors I go through in like the average
Yeah.
week.
Mhm.
Nah, man, they're making bank. Like they're
Dude,
making good
yeah,
money.
because it's something
Get
that
down
people
to
are
the
going to
raw
need.
materials.
Yeah,
Pickaxes during the gold mine is actually such a great analogy.
I
Yeah, it
forgot
is.
where I heard that from. I know I mentioned. I know for a fact I heard from a podcast called Founders before. I've mentioned that podcast before, I think. But no, like that is one of my favorite analogies that I always go back to.
Where you want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Top
Smart
selling
tier.
business.
pickaxes.
Anyway, sorry to derail the conversation. There's a small rant there.
Oh, that
No
was basically
worries.
it. That's
And
all I've been doing.
why don't we just hand it over to David now? I mean, keep him rolling. Keep him rolling.
I
Keep
was
him
late to
rolling.
I was late to book club, so yeah, okay. Um, this week has been quite different for me actually, in the sense that I have been playing a little bit of electrician for the past couple of days. We're getting a new addition to the house, and well, with a little bit of knowledge that I've had, and a neighbor that we have who was a retired electrician, he gave me some tidbits, and I ended up wiring our lights, and all that's going to be getting done, and everything's already actually set up and ready. So I got to sort of dip my toe into how wiring a house would actually work out, and that was pretty
Let's
fun. But
go.
aside from that,
That sounds really
um,
cool.
parents and family are going to be going on a trip, so I will be in charge of business with my one brother, and it'll just be us two. And
Holding
yeah,
down
so
the fort.
I will be having a busy week
Are you
taking care of all the
excited
stuff.
or
Yeah, man.
daunted by that idea?
Neither daunted nor excited. It's just work as usual. I don't really feel like.
That you would answer that way, David.
What's that supposed to
Just
mean?
chilling. Just
Just,
I don't really
just
feel
gonna
any kind of
handle
way
it.
about it actually.
David's like, I'm just gonna handle it. You know, it's
Work
just,
is work, and I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, have
just
that
holding down the
Marcus
fort.
Aurelius, that Marky Mark mindset, man.
Hell yeah. Hell
But
yeah.
yeah. So that'll be just the thing I gotta do. You know, do any other little things that I need to take care of, and yeah, that's how my week has been going. Work, work, work. That's why I was pretty swamped last time, because I was doing electrical with also the electrical work, and then also answering clients, and then selling, and blah blah blah. A whole combination of stuff.
Sounds
But it's been
productive.
fun having everything be very busy and having my time being used.
Oh, that's good. I bet. I mean, it sounds fun. Sounds like you learned some stuff from
Mhm.
the electrical stuff too. So that's
I
cool.
did, and I feel confident with why I am now, which is a funny thing to
That's
say.
how
Dude.
But at
I
the same
don't.
time,
So
that is
that's
false
something I can
confidence.
definitely not say.
That is false confidence. So it's that novice, you know, it's
The
exactly the
bell
same as
Oh
curve.
yeah, it's that
that
curve. Yeah,
that
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
that
The graph.
novice extravagance.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's the mindset that I'm in right now. I'll pass it off
Fire.
to Seth.
Well, my week's been, I won't say chill, chiller. Still working on like a work's been kind of annoying. I'm like getting really in the I'm almost done with it now, but I've been really getting in the weeds of like dealing with clients. Like I haven't been doing a lot of engineering this week, and it's been very frustrating. It's been more like answering emails and like coordinating when I'm gonna be where. Uh, but I've had a lot of book club getting canceled 2 days ago. Just randomly opened up my Tuesday, so
Welcome. Yeah, that was
I've
for
been
you.
I've been playing a lot of Stardew with my girlfriend, like a
Nice.
That's
lot.
cute.
We're on the
Nice.
grind really hard. In fact, I think we're probably gonna play some after we're done today. That's
Seth, you're
definitely
staying
on,
up late?
definitely
Oh,
on the
now I see why
docket.
you wanted to get the book club like started.
Yeah,
Now I
no
see why you're
wonder.
like, oh, we need this thing. We have to get
He's
this
he's
going.
starving. He's itching
I
for it.
know.
I think I've been thinking about it at work. It's been a while since like a game has got me like that, but I've literally like sitting at work and I'm like fighting the urge to like look up the best way to set up like my fishing outposts. Like it's getting silly.
You're like,
But it's been
okay,
a lot of fun.
the traveling trader comes on Tuesdays and Fridays. I need to make sure I get this in order to finish the community
Yes.
center. So I need to.
Yes, exactly that. So it's been a lot
That's
of fun. But yeah, I'm traveling this weekend to go visit my sister. So really excited about that. Got
time.
everything packed up, and that's kind of why I'm not afraid of staying up a little late tonight because I'm not even gonna like work like a full day tomorrow.
Nice.
It's gonna be pretty
Give
chill.
yourself some
plan-
relaxation time. You know.
Yeah.
No, he
The
planned
sis-
everything else around Stardew Valley, is what I'm hearing.
Shut up. So what if I did? So what if I did?
You know, man has got his priorities, and I like that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Agreed. He knows what he
All
wants.
right. So
He
true.
does.
Stardew Valley.
So I've also been pretty busy. I've gotten even busier, actually. I remember last time I mentioned like, oh, like, I'm starting to put in an extra hour a day, work the Sunday here and there. It's starting to turn into more than an extra hour a day, and then
Mhm.
maybe even
And then
both days of the
Saturday and
weekend.
Sundays.
Yeah. So things are really ramping up for me right now. Just super busy, which is why, I had to read most of our part 3 today once I got home.
Do not even fret because I did the exact same thing, and I finished at 7 o'clock on the dot.
Wow.
I think I finished at like 7:30.
The procrastinate. Oh, it was. It
Well,
was because he wasn't done.
No.
Oh, you talked
I
all
was-
about
There was
this
no procrastination,
tree.
Seth.
All about
We
putting
was
up this
busy.
tree.
I was reading while Nicole was at the store and driving back, and then I went and helped. That's why we didn't start until like 7:45 because I was hoping to bring it up. All right, okay. So
No procrastination here either. Let's
yeah, I
get
was,
that
I was trying to
straight.
make full use of my time. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
But yeah, no. So just kind of been working. One thing that is pretty cool is Nicole has officially changed her last name to Morgenthaler at the Social Security Administration. Yes,
Whoa.
we have Mr. and
Yeah.
Mrs. Morgenthaler now.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's one thing
Harry
that's
Potter, dude, I
pretty
swear.
nice. But yeah,
Awesome, dude.
yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a dub. That's one thing that's really nice. Um, while I've just been overworking myself. So yeah, that's kind of, yeah. So that's about everything that's been going on. We've been decorating the house, as you can see right here. We got some Christmas
Yeah,
stuff
cute.
going on, even though it's not Thanksgiving yet. We try to stay in the spirit. It's all about the Christmas spirit, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
I'm already hearing the "All I Want for You" from Christmas Is You song.
It hasn't
already
gotten to
Dude,
me
that
popping
song's
yet.
such a banger, though.
It
It
is.
actually-
It really
it
I think
is.
it's still not old, in my opinion. I still
It's
don't think
not,
it's old.
dude. It's not old because it only is a seasonal song.
That's true.
That's
Dude,
true.
it hasn't gotten to me yet. I haven't been hit with a single Christmas tune, which I feel like that's just how it should be. But I feel like by now it should have crept in somewhere. Maybe it'll change.
It's because David's on TikTok and you're not, so that's probably why.
Call out.
Every single mall, every single store that I've been
Oh,
working at,
Connor has it
Oh,
bad. I didn't even
yeah,
think
I
about
didn't think
that.
about that.
everywhere, dude.
Oh, because not only that, he gets the TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and that
Yes.
goes,
Yeah.
and you know.
Oh, and Marshalls is on it.
For
Marshalls
sure.
been on it. That's
Dude,
funny.
literally, I worked the 31st of October, all Halloween stuff. I come back at a Marshalls. I come back that Monday, like that following Monday, November 3rd or whatever, Christmas stuff everywhere. I was like, how did you guys do this in a weekend? You moved the entire store. That's
Dude.
crazy.
They call them the reserves, dude.
Yeah, bro, they're on it, man. That's why they need to save so much of their light usage, because
Yeah, that's
they're on it, bro. They're trying to save it. They're trying to do every
I
little
guess
time, every
so.
little minute, every little penny.
Dude,
Trying to do
and then
everything.
like working at outlet malls too, like they got like on the loudspeaker, just like everywhere, just Christmas music going.
Outside.
So, and one ear I just hear, and then the other ear I just hear, all I want for, yeah, no, dude, I'm so done with it. I'm so done with it.
It's not even
Oh,
Thanksgiving,
don't worry,
Connor's
Connor.
already
You
done.
only have about 2 more months worth of it.
Oh no!
It's not too bad.
I want to know. I want to know when they stop. I'm actually really curious. Like, is it like
I'll-
the day after Christmas? It's eradicated immediately, or did they let it rock for a little bit?
I think it's
I feel like
definitely
they
going
let it
past
rock.
New Year's, right?
Yeah.
Definitely going past New Year's.
I don't know
I feel
past
like
New
it's let it
Year's.
rock.
Definitely up to New Year's though, for
You
sure.
better not be going past New
Yeah.
Year's.
I'll let you guys know. I will let you know.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Connor.
Excited about this saga in your
Yeah,
life.
this is gonna be a nice little thing to just like constantly keep
Yeah.
track of.
Fun thing
Yeah,
for
Be like,
me to
it's
get
going on.
updates on and not have
Yeah.
to experience myself, you know.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
happy I get to bear this weight.
You bear it for all of us.
Yeah.
You walk so that we could run.
I feel like fucking Frodo. This is bullshit.
Only you can bear the ring.
All right.
Well,
Let's get into
Shall we
it.
hop in?
Howie calling me out. I actually got
Uh-oh.
called out finally
Okay.
by this book.
Finally, the official.
I finally felt actually called out.
Oh, I can't
And
wait. Finally, yes.
it was actually the second chapter. So
Oh, okay.
Chapter
I'll
18.
wait to get to it, but yeah, just a little segue into the book. I got called
Slub
out.
gob.
Slug
Slub
Gob.
gob.
Slug
So-
Gob's back.
We also got another name drop too. I don't know. If
Oh,
you
we
guys
did.
We did it like
Yeah,
at the
oh,
very
man.
end, right? It was like close to the end.
We got 2 back to back.
Yeah. No. Oh, actually, yeah, there were 2, weren't there?
We got
Mhm.
Toad
There was one at
Pipe.
the very end.
And Slum
Toad
Trippet. Trimpet.
Yeah.
Some Trimpet.
Slum Trimpet.
Slum Trimpet. That
But
one, I like that one.
we're getting
Oh,
too
wait.
far ahead.
Yeah. Also, I lied. No, it was the
Sorry.
first chapter. I did get called out. I'm looking at my notes right now. I got called out.
The
In
Gluttony
first
of
chapter.
Delicacy.
The gluttony of delicacy. Damn
Oh.
it.
Hey,
Has to be.
this is the one for the chums. This is the one for the chums right here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking of the whole stupid Krabby Patty and chum conversation that we were having.
Chum Munchers are up after this
God
chapter.
damn it. The
let's
gluttony
go.
of
the Chum Munchers.
delicacy. Damn.
Yeah.
And I thought this whole time, no, I just really enjoy. I'm just a foodie. I enjoy food. It's so nice. It's such a good pleasure.
Yeah.
Little did I know I have had moments. I have had moments where I've been denied this pleasure. And through this denial of this pleasure, I get a little irritated. I get a little off my rocker, you know, just to say
It's
it
supposed to be something
nicely.
special for you, right?
It
Like
is.
Yeah.
It's
It's supposed
for
to be special. It's just
you.
It's an
for
important
me.
part of your
It's
day.
not, you know,
For
it's not that
someone
much.
to come
I'm
in.
not even asking for that much. I'm not even asking for that much. It's
We just want
a
to be done
simple.
right.
No,
Just
it's
wanna be
definitely
right.
not to that extent in the gluttony of delicacy, but it did bring a eye onto that. I've never seen delicacy as in that form. I don't know about y'all, but
Yeah.
it's really never been a sort of a. I personally always thought gluttony as an excess, not of. And again, delicacy was such a weird curveball that has
hmm
only recently been exposed to my brain. And with that call out of this delicacy, I don't think myself as somebody who really likes a lot of things specifically proper, but I do like nice food. And when I see nice food and I can't really enjoy it or revel in it, that's where that gluttony comes out. And maybe I should work on that. And the funniest thing was I was literally talking to Alexa about my love for delicacies right before I read this chapter. And it was just,
That's
wow.
so funny.
Right in front of her, I was like, I just got called out so hard by this.
Like instantly, bro.
Yeah.
Spoke to
I
you.
knew you were talking about delicacy.
Mhm.
It's a funny thing, the universe, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that does beg the question. Would you consider, fine food or delicacy to be gluttony? I mean, is that would you consider that excess? Because like it's
Well,
not like eating in excess, but it's
I
paying
think
more. So is that excess?
I think what I thought was interesting about this was kind of the focus on delicacy, not just as like, not saying that like, oh, like lobster, a
Right.
nice well-baked lobster roll, like that's
But
a
even like just
problem.
like sweets
Or
and
like a
stuff like that
or
too.
like a beef, you need a beef Wellington, like that's what's bad. It's like it's wanting the perfectly done egg, like that's the problem. Is being
Perfectly done
like,
toast.
yeah, if my
Yeah.
toast isn't perfectly crispy, I'm gonna freak out because all
Oh
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
is some crispy toast.
Now I'm
And
remembering like the whole
nobody
tea and
does toast
bread.
right anymore. You can't get a good toast anywhere.
A good cup of
You know?
tea and toast.
Yeah.
It's not
That's all I
viable
want.
anymore.
Yeah.
That's
It
all
should
I
be
want.
easy. It's not hard.
Yeah. So I
Meanwhile,
think
you're not the one actually making it. You're not
yeah, right,
trying.
right. Haven't made a meal. Haven't cooked a toast in like a long time. But I think to answer your question, Connor, I think the idea is less that like fine food is a problem, but it's like being put out when it's not made exactly how you want, or being put out when you got to eat a little chunk. You
Yeah.
know.
No, okay. So I was going more towards like the fine food line. Now I'm starting to see it. Hate to call it my own brother, but he is like that. He's like he'll order like a steak or something. He'll be like, ask for medium or like ask for medium rare. This is medium.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to the waiter. I was like, dude, don't fucking do that. Just eat the
Yeah.
fucking
Dude, it
steak.
reminds me of
Like,
like
come on.
Karen, like that like stereotype of Karens, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Or they just
Yeah.
complain about every little thing and just a
It's like,
nuisance.
and I know people that do that.
Have any of you guys ever worked in food service?
Yes, I worked for 5 years in
Yeah.
the food
Yeah.
industry, and I hated
This
people that did
person's
that
like your
shit.
nightmare. This person's your worst nightmare, you know?
Yeah.
And you
I
can tell before you've given them their food that they're going to complain. Like it hasn't even hit their palate yet, but you can just tell by the way that they ordered it that they're just going to be unsatisfied with what you hand them. And it's so frustrating.
like they
Yeah.
came in there to like make a problem, you know?
Yeah, and for some
Yeah.
reason, people are the stingiest people about their fucking food most of the time.
Dude, you know what's really
Gluttony.
bad?
Not chum munchers, dude. They
Not chum
care.
munchers, though.
No.
Yeah,
We'll eat what gets to us and we won't complain,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
Um,
Look, I don't mind eating chum every now and then,
I love my chums.
dude,
Us
yeah,
chum
dude.
but I'm
fuckers
not a
are.
chum
Someone gives me some
muncher.
chum, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna enjoy it.
I'm gonna enjoy that
What?
chum.
Who am I to not enjoy the food that someone gives me?
If somebody
Dude,
worked hard on that chum, I will gladly eat it.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But it's really bad. You know what's really bad? I was like, I worked at a grocery store. Coupon people. Those are the
Dude.
worst.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
They will fight tooth and nail
I never even
for
thought about that.
anything. Yeah, man.
Save a buck.
Yeah, it's
one
those are
buck.
You know
bad.
what? You know what? Like what really ruined that whole sect of people? Did you guys ever see that show, Extreme Couponing?
Yeah.
No,
And
I
then they
didn't
would,
see it, but I'm talking about.
dude, and then they would like just literally pick up the whole basket of the thing, and it's like, this is all free now. And then it's just like this. It's just this cut to the guy who's scanning the 400th coupon that they like cut out of the magazine to like make sure that they have floss for the rest of their lives and haven't had to pay a cent for it. It's like some people saw that
Yeah.
and were like, that's a good idea. That's what I want to do.
Can't discredit it though. That's they got some crazy prices.
No, like
Yeah.
I've seen like
Yeah, no,
videos
that's
of these
true.
people doing that shit, and they would go from like an $800 total like 20 years ago down to like fucking $200. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
damn.
I
That's
mean, it is
money
like
saved.
why like it's a lot of money that they can save.
Hmm.
But but like even then, it's not bad if they like have like valid things. But it's bad when like they try to do is a coupon's expired, and they like
Oh,
keep on arguing on why the coupon should be applied. And you have to get your manager, and then the manager ends up like giving it to them or something.
That's
But
some
like,
gluttony
now
of
you look like
delicacy
the
right
I
bad
there.
hated
guy.
that shit. I hated that shit. Same thing would
that's
happen
when
in
it's
the food
bad.
industry, man. Like people like this is okay. I
Yeah.
want a refund. Like I'm like, no, man,
Let me talk
you
to
ate
your
half the damn
manager.
thing. And
I
then like
loved,
they're like,
dude.
okay, we'll comp it.
Oh my god,
Fuck, dude.
the sweet like vengeance when I became a manager and people be like, I want to talk to your manager, and I'm like, you're speaking to him, pal. You ain't getting shit. All right, I know the rules.
He
Go
got the just that
home.
you're speaking to him line.
Loved it.
It's so
Loved
funny.
it.
Again, that's gluttony of delicacy right there in such a
Vengeance.
minor form.
I
But
know.
to make a quick remark about this, it's I think it's also kind of like taking it back to Connor's question. I think it's also, not so much as like what you're eating as much as it's like, are you being a burden to other people because of the amount of care you put into what you're eating,
Hmm.
I think that's what's saying like to not do, right? Is like don't care about something so much that like you put this piece of food above like another person or human, you know?
Yeah,
That
and
that's where it's bad.
it starts at food, but I mean, like, how about like this is another classic person that gets on my nerves. It's like weekend trip with people, and the day doesn't go like entirely exactly how their like mental itinerary of how this event was gonna go goes, and then it's just they're just in a horrible mood, even though like all we did was have fun today. It's like having this idea of exactly how you envision the perfect moment, and then if it's anything but that, it's just like ruining your day. Like, I think this idea goes so far beyond food that I mean there were parts where I was even a little called out about it. Like,
Yeah.
I think
There's
about
one
like
part that
the incredible sadness I feel when my new white shoes get dirty for the first time. Like that, it's painful. It honestly ruins my day. Like the rest of the day, I'm like, fuck. I just look down. I'm like, fuck. Those were shiny earlier, like. But they're
That
stupid.
not
They're shoes.
that not only adheres to the gluttony of delicacy and that kind of, I guess, sin, but it also talks about, I think you can wrap something else that the book talked about, and that was that sense of ownership, especially what you just mentioned with the time and the weekend,
yeah.
about having this plan sour this plan not go as you wanted, and it sours your mood. It's because, and they talked about it
Yeah.
so well
Yeah,
about
this is one of
it
them.
in the book, about you feeling as though you own this time, that it's rightfully yours. So when it doesn't go the way that you want it to go, you feel offended.
Yeah.
You
That's where I
feel
felt called out for sure.
Me too.
really.
No, I
Me
don't
too.
want to go too far
I'm sort of
ahead.
that way too.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get there
Yeah,
though.
we
we'll
will.
That
go
We
was a
there.
will.
juicy one.
That
I
is a
love
juicy
that
one
one.
because that's literally like it made me like
I
rethink.
think
Anyway,
everybody should.
we'll talk about.
Yeah.
We'll talk about. We'll talk about.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
The first, we got to talk about sexual temptation.
The love
That was a
stuff.
big. That
Yeah.
was a big topic here in this
I felt kind of called out on
part
this one.
3.
Really, you know what thing reminded me? Like I thought about when I read this section was the idea of like love as like in a pure sense, right? Because what it was saying here was like, oh, use the idea of love that we've planted into their minds to
Mhm.
make them like misunderstand what like a good marriage should be, or like what a happy marriage is, and like all this stuff, like an actual good relationship is. Like what I kept on thinking about was sorry, Seth, Vinland Saga, where
I thought he was
because
about to like dunk on one of my past relationships, so I'll,
no,
I'll
no,
gladly take
I
Vinland
never do that.
Saga.
No, I never do
I
that.
gladly take Vinland
we
Saga.
But like
we
you know the part I'm talking about in Vinland Saga where it's like the I think
Aner.
Camute or Camule, yeah,
Oh,
where like he's with the
Camus.
priest. I forgot his name. Camule. What was his name?
Canute.
Canute.
Canute. Yeah, where Canute and the priest are together, and Canute's having like this major transformation. The priest is telling him like explain to him like what like love is, and Canute's like, well, this guy raised me, so then he loved me, and the guy's like, no, that was bias. And then he like starts explaining like, oh, so like the snow, this has love, like this grass, like the sky is love, like all this stuff. And the priest is like, yes, yes, yes. And Canute finally gets it, and it's the idea that there's like no bias, but like an overall feeling of love and kindness to everyone and everything, like an indifference to everyone and everything. And
Yeah.
that's the idea of like love. And that's what I was thinking about when I was reading this, because honestly, I remember when I watched that part of Vinland Saga, that had to be like one of the most banger things I've ever seen in my entire
Yeah,
life. And so that's stuck with me a lot.
such a good show.
Yeah. I think
Disinterested love is what they said in the book.
I was literally just about to say that. You
Take the
stole
reign.
my
Take the
Do it,
line.
do
reign.
it.
You
Take the
stole my
reign. Take the
line.
reign.
No, I
I'm
just I
going to put
just
a vote
wanted
to
I literally just wanted to say the disinterested love line. I was gonna let somebody else
No,
go.
that unfortunately I can't say that I fully remember that Vinland Saga scene. Regardless, I got to go rewatch that entire anime because amazing, really life changing. But also, it's funny to see Screwtape here struggle with the enemy's idea of this. What was it, Seth?
The disinterested love.
Disinterested love. Thank you, thank you.
Just a quick reminder.
and he really, Screwtape really is trying to, like, I guess it makes sense for him to live, for Screwtape to have the idea of everything being a competition, not being
Yeah.
able to really understand
Like
that
there's
love.
like there's gotta be some kind of motive behind it.
I've
Right.
got to be getting something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think both these chapters actually go together because like the first one is kind of describing what Screwtape's idea or what they want the idea of love to be for humans. And then the second chapter is like what love actually is, right? And I mean even I haven't seen the scene either, but the way you described it is like that idea of I've always called it like sacrificial love. And I think that a lot of people hear that and they think what it means is going out of your way to give up things for somebody. There's a part of giving up things for somebody, but it's not because you think yourself lesser. It's because you think yourself equal. The idea that it would, like, I would like if somebody would do that for me, you know? And it's not that you do it hoping that it happens in return, but it's like you said, the lack of competition, the not trying, because I think that it actually touches on two like big critical mistakes that I think people make when they're trying to in relationships, right? And number one is what he talked about before, the idea of like that love is a precursor to marriage rather than something that happens after, you know, that you have to find like love in order to know that your relationship's a good idea rather than like rather than taking a sober look at like your relationship with this person and seeing if it's something that's healthy for both of you, and then that is the machine that grows your love with them, looking for it first, right? And I think the second thing is like the competition piece where it's love is like a game to be won. You know, how much can I get from this person with the least amount that I could give? How can I make, like, this is like a really gross thought, but there's definitely people who you know, I think it's a bit Don Quixote in nature, but the idea of like, how can I make this person love me so deeply that they'll sacrifice for me? How can I like create a sacrificial love in the people around me instead of trying to exemplify that love to the people around them? You know,
It that kind of goes back. I mean, I kind of want to go back to the love thing, but like it kind of goes back to what reminds me of like, you know, doing kind things to others, but only putting it inwards to your, like how the devils wanted you, kind things that should be happening outwards to other people, that they want that to be actually internalized to yourself, to where
mm-hmm.
I'm kind, like I'm thinking like I'm kind, but I'm not actually doing kind acts, and it kind of reminds me of that because it's like you want other people to do those kind acts to you, you know.
Yeah,
It's kind of like it's like it's selfish, right? In an
yeah.
intent. And
Making
yeah.
sacrifice to gain love rather than sacrificing because love, you know.
Yeah.
Very nicely put.
So yeah, that's kind of why I felt called out. I've been on the receiving I've been on the receiving end of that kind of thought process, and
Mm-mm,
it's not a good feeling.
mm-mm.
Where you wanted someone to sacrifice?
No. Yeah, well,
Oh, or
no.
someone wanted you to sacrifice.
You
Someone
were sacrificing
made
to
me
make somebody
sacrifice.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see,
Yeah,
I see, I see, I see.
Yeah. Not a good experience.
Yeah, and that's the
no.
thing too, is kind of like what you said, Seth, about like, you know, people take it as like a wrong way, like sacrificial love. I think that's also important to keep in mind because it's like you should still be, you shouldn't fully sacrifice who you are as a person to be with someone. It's
Yeah.
kind I mean, it kind of goes back, I think, to like everything. Like it's not healthy. And you're going to feel very discombobulated. It's kind of like the idea of you know, being in two different groups, right? You feel lost.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're kind of having to, you know, be someone you're not in this other group's phase, and you know, it drives you into a deep depression because it drives you into, like, that's how people get like multiple personality disorders, right? Is like an extreme example is like, you know, trying to be people they're not. And like if you ever watch Attack on Titan, where Reiner is a spy, right? And he's having this multiple personality disorder issue because of it, because he like grew up his whole life and like as a spy. And so it's a lot like that, where by sacrificing yourself and who you are, it puts you down a bad path of being lost, and obviously probably doing like bad things as well, right? So yeah, it's
Gradual
important
decline
to,
into
yeah,
hell.
yeah, yeah. And that's what it sounds like they want, and that's like one of the things that they say they want. They want you to like
Hmm.
use that feeling of love, like, oh, I'm in love, as an excuse for like marrying this person who is unhealthy and will help lead that person down the gradual decline, you know?
I kind of want to jump to the other side of how he described the enemy's idea of love in this contradiction of unity and distinctness. Distinctive unity? Something like that. And how he places family in that situation of being a weird, a very prime and real example of this unity that's still has its distinct aspects within each person.
It's like each person's an individual, and naturally that breeds competition, natural selection, and all that stuff. I personally mentioned that before in the past with like especially capitalism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And despite the uniqueness that breeds competition, people are still together like a community and supportive of one another and not actually trying to bring the other down, you know?
You know what that reminds me of? And it's something that you said, Seth, about how you really appreciate a rival.
Yeah.
Somebody who is there to be that competition for you. But as a result, you are both uplifting each other, which is a twist on Screwtape's idea of competition and the stronger eating the weaker.
Mm-hmm.
A good twist, a
Mm.
beautiful twist of this rivalry.
It's like a
And
healthy competition.
it's just it's what brings to mind when you said that, Howie.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys really think like it's easier to look at a smaller sense in a family because it's very few individuals as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to a larger sense as a community or a state or a country government or even the world. Do you guys think that this idea is even like possible? And like I don't want I want to kind of take us out of the current, political, social, economic circumstances, kind of take it out of there because obviously right now, the
Mm-hmm.
unity probably is not possible. But like, do you think it, like, even in an ideal world, that would be possible to have unity in this regard of like what the devils don't want, right? Where it's like, despite all these
Disinterested.
individuals, yeah, despite all these individuals, everyone's like still living your life and being kind to one another, not trying to bring the other down.
I
I
think
hate to
so.
say it. I hate to say it. I don't think so.
I
It's
think
got to be an
so.
ideal world, of course, right? It's got to be an ideal world. But
Mm.
I think this false sense of ownership might bludgeon that idea of unity.
Before we get there, I
Okay,
want to
we're
hear, yeah,
not. Stop trying to
let's have a
take
little
us there. I want to
disagreement.
go there
I'm
too, but
sorry.
it's
I'm
not
sorry.
time yet.
I'm sorry. God. All right.
Y'all can have y'all's
Let me shut my
disagreement
lip.
real
Let me
quick
shut my
about
lip.
Yeah, because I
going
agree with you,
against.
David. I do think the ownership thing is like, I, we'll get there,
We're
but
not there yet. We're not there
the
yet.
ownership thing was literally like I was like, oh, this is actually the problem. This is like the single root of it. Felt like a root cause of like so many other issues that I see, but we're not there yet. But the reason I think it's possible is because okay, last weekend I went to Ring Dunk, and uh, of Yuji's Ring Dunk actually, Howie. It was a good time. It was a ton of fun, and it's the most drunk I've been in like a long time. I was living up the college life, and I'm at an event that's somewhat of a celebration of binge drinking, right? And it was all free. It was all free. I didn't pay a dime,
How
you
could you
know.
not?
And there was this moment much later in the night where all of the events of the night had led to this where I'm sitting in Pierce's house, and it's me, Abel's girlfriend, Pierce's roommate, and then their new roommate, who's like he like grew up in India and moved. He went to University in Washington and then came to A&M for his grad school, and then Abel's girlfriend like grew up in Mexico, and then came to A&M, and then I'm from Tennessee, and I'm like, it's like a white guy, a Hispanic woman, and an Indian guy all sitting at a table, and we can't stop talking about all the things that we want in the world and how they all align. And it's like it's very simple, you know. Like achieving these goals are complex, but the idea of like most everybody wants to be appreciated, to be like known, to feel safe, right? And it was just this crazy moment where actually for the first time in a long time I felt a lot of pride in my country because I was like, where there are very few other places in the world where this conversation between these three people from these three different cultures would be happening right now. And I do not think that we're like ahead of the curve on the whole unity thing at all. But it was still like, it was a moment that kind of like rebuilt my hope in the fact that we can all be very different and still have common ground and enjoy each other's presence and like feel like we're known, you know?
Yeah. So I think that's the problem though, is like you were it is a beautiful thought, like this sense of unity. But you were in like the presence of good people, you know? Like
Yeah.
these are people that you could be friends with, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
there's always going to be that the opposite side of that spectrum. And that's the problem. There's always going to be somebody that wants more.
One bad apple is enough to ruin the rest of them.
See, this is something I've like really but okay. Despite that though, do you still keep on trying to bring together that sense of unity and kindness in like an absurd way? Right? Like this is
Yeah, I
something that
think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
I very much believe so.
Yeah.
because I've thought about this a lot personally, and it's because I used to be like, oh man, dude, it's not gonna get better. Like, there's other people out there, so why should I care or try? And I've had like that. I have had like the whole 360, or I guess 180 of the opposite direction now, where it's like, man, it really. I mean, I mean, it was before we read the Myth of Sisyphus where I had that thought, but I think the Myth of Sisyphus really helped ground that idea of
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
trying to be kind to people who aren't even kind and stuff like that, and try to bring that sense of unity.
Yeah. No, I've always been a half empty kind of guy, but recently I've been really trying to be a half full kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask David, man. Like for the longest time, I have been a Debbie Downer when it comes to certain topics. Um,
He has.
but yeah, I'm like, I used to be like oh no, we're cooked. Like there ain't nothing we can do. Or they're
Yeah,
gonna fucking, anyways. But
yeah,
I've been. That's why I really do like book club because like getting the chance to like read these books, it really does open your mind, and it's interesting, especially because they all kind of have similar themes, and then you
Yeah.
get to reiterate those themes later on. You get to think about them in a different way,
They
and
sort of
it's
mesh
yeah,
together. We get to still talk about absurdity within the Screwtape Letters.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
it's
That's why I love this stuff, man, because
Mm-hmm.
they all have such commonalities, and it really reinforces these good ideas,
I mean that
of
right
how to live
there.
life.
The fact that they all have commonalities, that might be a sense of unity right there too.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we can draw parallels from Marky Mark 2,000 years ago. People were thinking
Yeah.
the same thing that we're probably thinking right now.
And that's the thing too, is like if all this stuff says the same stuff, then there's probably it probably means that there is a common way to like help make your life better by thinking or doing things in such a way,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Eh,
it's
It
like
might be
Seth
just
said.
built into our system,
Yeah.
right?
It's like Seth said, you got three different people from the three different cultures, but everybody wants the same thing.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
It's just like,
we're all human, we're all people.
yeah. So that's why like yeah, I think you do the absurd I said do. You do the absurd thing and you try to make it happen. You try to get
Yeah,
that sense of unity to develop even though yeah, maybe it won't happen. Maybe you are just pushing a boulder up a hill at the end of the day. But you got to imagine yourself happy.
exactly. My rebuttal to the idea of like, oh man, it's cooked, we're done for, is always like, no, well, what's the point of thinking like that? It's not going to get you out of your situation or anything like that. Like, there's no point in not trying at least, or like, having a positive mindset at least gives you some, like, not even, it gives you hope in the sense of like, makes you want to try. And
Yeah.
even like a little bit of effort can actually change things and go a long way. And that's the thing people I don't think really understand, you know?
Well, and you don't realize it too, but like getting into mindsets like that affects not just, I guess, that specific idea, but it affects your entire mindset. Like
True.
getting into those slumps, like if you develop a really sincere negative mindset at that point from that whole situation, it's so hard to talk about this in like a vague sense, but um, towards like a specific mindset, right? Um, it'll bleed over into different parts of your life so quick, like
True.
so quick.
Because
So yeah, it
then you
really
start
just
treating
isn't
people like
healthy.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I tried to, I try to fix it.
That's good, Connor.
It's a long process.
It is a long
You
Yeah.
keep pushing
process.
that boulder.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the hardest things to do is completely reshape the way you view the world. Like completely tear what you currently think of the world down and reintroduce a whole new perspective because it's like you're basically changing who you are as a person. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that is definitely one. I mean, that's what I had to do. And I think that's like one of the most, like, that's probably one of the hardest things anyone can ever do, in my opinion. It's tough. And it's something that takes there is a interesting thing about like Steve Jobs that I read once where Steve Jobs is known as like a jerk to like people who worked under him and stuff like that, right? And then he got fired from Apple, went to Pixar, came back, and he was doing better. But then there would be like spouts where he would kind of regress in a sense, and like be a, like a jerk again to people. And but like the person who was writing about it, the author made a comment saying, "Well, it's like addiction, right? It's a long process to recovery, and you're going to regress in that process. That usually happens, but it's part of the process. It's not something to look at and be angry about or upset about or feel bad about because it's part of the process. You'll regress, and then you just have to get right back to it again until like you do like are out of that addiction. And I thought that was something that like just was a really nice way to think about it because I think it's very easy to like if you do regress to be like, man, all right, what's the point? I regress.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore. But then to like, instead of being like having like just hope in a sense, like, no, I think I can get back to it. It's trying to understand and realize that's part of the process. So you're still doing the like getting out of the addiction.
Yeah.
But
Shit.
yeah, it's good though. I mean, it makes your life better to
Yeah.
think in a more positive light.
Talking about a negative mindset. I mean, and addiction. I went straight there. I'm sorry. You make great points.
I'll take it into consideration. I'll think
Future
about it
Connor
later.
seething
I'm really
right
thinking about
now.
this. I know future Connor's so angry.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
no, I'm trying. Yeah, that whole talk about like the slow descent. I am trying to fix that for sure because that definitely was a call out to me last time. 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
future
those are
Connor,
good things to do.
I think he's going to start to be pretty proud of past Connor here in a bit. All right.
Hell yeah.
See,
I
everyone
think
feels
future Connor
better,
should be
right?
happy.
Everyone feels like better out of it now, right?
Yeah.
So that's
All
the
the
thing.
Connors are up now.
Yeah,
A
that's what I'm
lot of
saying.
Connors are up.
Yeah, and then again, like bleeding into other parts of your life, I feel less stressed.
Yeah, look at that.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Booyah. Booyah.
Anywho, I've
Yeah.
vented enough.
No, that was good.
No,
That
there
was
is
really good.
never enough. There's
Yeah,
always.
dude.
Yeah, that's what this is here for, man.
This
Part
is
of
what
what we're
you're
here
Let
for,
you
Yeah,
let out
yeah.
your
this is what
stuff.
book club is all about, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You let it out, and then people, and the thing that's nice about it too is people will relate to you, and then they'll feel better about themselves too, and then they'll probably make changes to their own life, and it's that ripple effect, you know.
Yeah.
That ripple of.
And that's why even though unity feels so far away and it feels like everybody's kind of given up on that idea, we can't stop but like be beacons of that idea.
Can I
Because
be
it
real?
just yeah. No, you can't. Not here.
Can I be real with y'all for a second? All right, this is all right. Okay, so the reason I really wanted to do this podcast with y'all, as I was like enjoying our book clubs, was I felt like we were talking about and saying such good things that like not only made our lives better, but if we could like get that to people, like put it out there like in public and like do the podcast, then my hope was that the things that we talk about, the good things that we would discuss and like make our lives better, could then help others also, make their lives better as well.
Mhm.
And so that was what I really wanted from this podcast. That's what I really wanted. That's why I was like trying to keep on getting y'all to, hey,
You
let's
kept
do this. Let's do
hammering on
this.
to that idea. You said,
because
guys, I can record it. I'll do all the work. Don't even worry about
Mhm.
it.
because I really do think that like these things we talk about, like really serious things that people like deal with and struggle with. And just
Yeah.
by talking about it and making other people think about it, or at least relating to the things that we talk about, it really can help people's lives uh in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So yes, that
And
was
even if it doesn't,
yeah.
Powerful.
we can be proud of the facts that it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it
And yeah,
exists.
and even then, like even if it's just the four of us, whenever watches it, we're having a great time, right?
Yeah.
We're having a great time.
Yeah.
So
At the end of the
Well,
day, it's
speak for
just four
yourself.
friends just hanging out, talking.
Very
And there's
true.
the bad apple right there.
yeah,
Hey,
No
right
unity,
there.
always,
more
This
always
is
comes
the
guns,
reason
more
why we don't
cooks.
have
always
unity.
always wants to be the bad energy every time. I miss when you had good energy. Like now, like they've just been
When was
awful,
that?
man.
I don't remember that
Oh man,
happening
just been
ever.
terrible recently.
Guys,
Damn
he's
it.
just relapsing, all right?
This
He's
is
trying to
rough.
Yeah,
rewire
Yeah,
his
okay.
brain. He's
Working on it.
relapsing.
it's part of the process.
It's part of the
Part of the
process.
process.
Exactly,
Part of the
exactly.
process. Oh
Oh
Uh,
man.
man. Um, there's
that
one
was
thing.
go for it.
There's one thing I just wanted to ask y'all about, just to bring up. Like, it was like a conversation note that I thought would be cool to talk about. Is the bottom page 101. Um, it's where Woodward Wormwood was asking about like, is being in love a desirable state or not for a human? So
Mhm.
I'm gonna read this like a little paragraph real quick. You complain that my last letter does not make it clear whether I regard being in love as a desirable state for a human or not. But really, Wormwood, that is the sort of question one expects them to ask. Leave them to discuss whether love or patriotism or celibacy or candles on altars or teetotaler, te-
Teetotalism.
Teetotalism.
teetotalism, thank you, or
Got you.
education are good or bad. Can you see there's no answer? Nothing matters at all except the tendency of a given state of mind in given circumstances to move a particular patient at a particular moment nearer to the enemy or nearer to us. And continue. Thus, it would be quite a good thing to make the patient decide that love is good or bad. So I thought that was really interesting. The idea of like how he wants people to put the term good or bad on things, you know,
Mhm.
because
Oh, that is
yeah.
such an interesting thing because it completely goes
Mhm.
against the the disinterested love where I mean part of that is just not even labeling it as good or bad, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Difference.
Part of
Yep.
that is
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do
it,
y'all think about the idea of, labeling things as good or bad?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, right there, good or bad.
Is good or bad? Good or bad?
Eh?
Good or bad, good or bad. Well, sorry, like that's the thing. I mean, we were just talking about like a sense of unity. That right there would create division.
Yeah.
And you have to
Is
completely
something
agree.
good or is something bad? That's the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then
I think
eh, go,
I
Seth.
think it feels very Marky Mark in nature. I feel like that was one of the things that he was all about that I just could never get behind is the idea that nobody really does evil. Nobody really does good. And it's like, bro, shut up. But I think it's also really interesting to hear this idea coming from a book that is written from the perspective of a religion that is notorious for saying things are good or bad. Like that's
Yeah.
like their whole MO, like so to hear someone be like, that idea is actually farther from Christ, um, I think is powerful, and also true in a lot of ways. But it's so hard. I
Do
just
you,
love to put things in little boxes.
our
it's
human
easier for a
brains love to
little
organize
yeah,
things.
it's easier for our little brains to understand.
Yeah.
It fits and ships, you know?
Do you guys think that it's a lot like oh man, it was like the pleasures thing where it's like, oh, this pleasure must be good, this pleasure must be bad. But no, it's how the pleasure is used that makes it good or bad, you know?
Yeah.
And the idea that like defining a single thing without the context is good as good or bad, you know, that's where it's wrong.
Yeah. I have a good example of this. So like uh the thing I was talking about, the conversation at the table. Okay. I had too much to drink that night. I'll be real. Should not have had that much. We're gonna be cutting back in the future. That was a problem, right?
Far and few in between.
But if I had not reveled in the celebrations, that conversation I had at the end of the night that like spoke to my soul might have never happened, you know? And so the idea that there is no good or bad, there are just things that move you closer to heaven and things that move you closer to hell, I think is like a power. And when you combine that with the idea of the slow ascent and the slow descent, it kind of makes you realize that like the individual actions are not what decide where you're going, but it's like the care that you take when you're doing them. Is there intention behind them? Is this meant to take you somewhere? You know, like there's a big difference between like I'm drinking to celebrate this absolutely wonderful moment that deserves to be celebrated versus like I'm drinking because it's Tuesday and I drink on a Tuesday and that's just it, you know.
Whoa.
Hunter's called out enough times today, all right?
Hold on.
but also to that point, there's a big difference between like I'm drinking because I had a long day at work and I want to take the edge off, even though it's a Tuesday, and just like I'm drinking because I'm not thinking much about it because I'm just home and that's what I do, you know. I think awareness, and I think that's kind of the biggest thing I gather from this book, awareness, because man, it just be
Every
calling you out all the
action.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. A deep self-awareness, even of the little things that you do.
Even
Makes
of
a
like
big
getting annoying people try to take your time.
Ah,
because
that's
of
the
a
segue.
talkative, a friend's talkative wife, or whatever else example was there.
Dude,
This
man,
one broke me.
that I feel you know what's crazy too is I don't pride myself on it because you know you shouldn't. But like I tend to think that I am, you know, kind of like like introspective about the
Mhm.
things I do and stuff like that, right?
Very
But
self-reflective about all.
yeah,
Mm.
but this part right here, and it's like the thing is like I've noticed this about myself, you know, where I kind of get annoyed where I'm like, oh, okay, I just got some time to chill, and then you know, something happens, someone comes in, and like I've been annoyed about it, but I've never like thought about like why or should or if I should or should not be. It's always
Yeah.
happened. So like for this to force me to think about it, I was like, oh man, it's like oh man,
Throwing my brain into a whirlwind of thoughts. Man, time
Yeah.
isn't really mine. What? I don't own my time.
Yeah,
No.
because it just seems because I think the phrase that like hits me like I can't I would love for you to find someone who's never said this before. This is wasting my time, right? Oh wait, it's not your time. The
yeah,
oh man, the part that I thought was cool is he was like, man, says something along the lines of like humans cannot create or retain time.
yeah.
And,
So they
and,
have
and
no
truth's
ownership
like
of it.
when you think about it, those are like the two core tenets of ownership is like, can you actually hold on to it and can you make it? And he's right, I can't make time. I wish I could. Oh my goodness, I wish I could. What I would do if I could just create time out of thin air. You know?
You do anything, low key.
Yeah. And I don't get to spend it either. I'm realizing how like dangerous the idea of the concept of spending time is.
And owning it.
Like,
And
because that
it kind of
implies that it's
comes
like
like it's yours because
currency.
you have currency. Yeah,
This
Yeah.
kind of makes me think back to Marky Mark and his intentions of whatever you do, putting your intentions into that, putting your all presence into what you're doing into that, because it, aside from it reminding me of that, it also reminded me of a story that you told me, Seth, that is in the Bible, and I think I've mentioned it last one, and it was Job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
that
old Job.
again, getting everything taken away from him, but realizing, hey, it was a gift in the first place. It was never really mine to own, regardless. So taketh away.
Yeah.
So, girl math is right.
Girl math was spitting.
Yeah. God.
They knew what they were
And here
talking
you
about.
were arguing
Yeah.
against it all this time,
I
Connor.
They were
know. I
they were
know.
always onto something. But yeah, I think like this causes so much strife that's completely unnecessary. Like the guy who he mentions this example where someone's trying to spend one-on-one time with somebody and then their wife shows up, right? Yeah, that one hit for me. There's been so many times where I'm like, I want to have like a nice, deep conversation with this person about something personal going on, and then there's just someone else there, and I'm like, bro, like, go away. And but what right do I have to tell them to go away? Like, this could be an opportunity for me to get closer to that person, and I'm letting it get ruined because of my concept of how I wanted to like enjoy this moment isn't coming to fruition.
So I was going to ask, actually, how do you? Because in a way, you kind of have to turn it on its head, or you have to look at it in a positive, glass half full kind of guy. Am I right, Connor? You have
Yeah,
to look at it in like a positive way, right? Where so like how do you do that though? Where like what do you do? And I was thinking of like, looking at it as like an opportunity that now this thing has entered into your time and now you have this new opportunity to like do something with your time or something like that. So I was gonna ask like that guy, I don't know, what do you guys think?
I actually have a great example of that. So what I was thinking about when I read this, slash listened to it because I did the audiobook. Um, but what I was thinking about when I did this, there's like a lot of new guys that have started out at my job, right? And I guess I'm approachable or something. They like to call me and ask me stuff whenever they run into a problem. They're like, "Hey Connor, like this gas valve isn't opening up," like whatnot, right? So a lot of time, like I'm doing my own thing, man. Like I got 13 units to look at. Like I don't really have the time right now. Sorry, man. But no, recently, like I say recently, I have been helping them out whenever I can, but in the back of my mind, I'll be like, God, dude, can you just figure this out already? Like I'm not there, but recently I've been like, all right, well, send me a picture of the unit tag, send me a picture of what you're looking at, and I'll see if I can't help you out. This is what I would do, like all this other stuff. So recently, what I've been doing is I've been looking at it like this is just another unit that I could have been looking at. That this is another scenario that I'm gaining experience from, you
mm.
know. So it's like I'm helping him diagnose this, so that later on in the future, if I run into the same problem, I know how to do it. So and part of it is like I'm using the knowledge that I already have, so I'm kind of putting theory into practice through another person too. It's I, maybe it's kind of selfish to think of it that way, and not so much as just like, all right, well, I'm going to help him out. But at the same time, he called me because I might have already experienced this before. You know, so it's like I'm gaining something out of it, but I'm helping him at the same time, so maybe it is a good thing.
He's gifting
Nobody's
you the
losing in this
opportunity.
situation.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Yeah,
gifting me the opportunity. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's as much as like, oh, you're like using him to gain this experience knowledge, but it's more of like you're helping him, but it's also an opportunity for you to gain experience knowledge. You know?
Right. Right. I like the way you're looking at it better than the way
Opportunity
I
is the
was looking
big
at
Half
word
full
there.
kind of guy, right?
it. Yeah.
yeah.
You see, I'm trying. I'm trying to be half full and like helping guys out, but at the same time, I'm thinking half empty towards myself. Where it's like, man, am I just being selfish using this guy, saying, "Hey, quote this and let's see if it works." He'll take the flack. I won't.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
thing, go for it, Seth.
no, you go.
Okay.
My thought wasn't quite there yet.
Okay, I was gonna say the thing is that So everything in life is about perspective. The same thing can happen, and you can have 20 different perspectives on it, and they all produce different emotional or mental results, right?
Mm.
So you can do the same thing, but it, it really also depends on the way you think of it, because at the end of the day, your action isn't changing. But the way you think about your action, that you have control over, and that does change. And that can have an effect on your mental and emotional state. And so it's important that's the other reason why it's good to think in the positive mindset, because like nothing's changing. But if you think more in the positive mindset, you're just going to be a happier person overall, right? And and the thing is too, kind of like with the idea of maybe things are looking bleak. I'm not saying to not be realistic, but like don't be realistic, but realistic in a sense that it helps you. Where like you have a tough situation, you can either look at it as like, oh, this is impossible, so I'm gonna give up, or you can look at it as like how it is and try to think of the current situation, everything that's going on, and what you can do about it. There,
Yeah.
there's two ways to be realistic,
Keep it simple, stupid.
for real. I
Even
love
one
that
percent
phrase.
is
Episode of that.
1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazier things have happened in life.
I think the training example is a good one because I deal with that one a lot as well, especially because like in my line of work, not in my line of work, but specifically with my company, we're just obsessed with the idea of amassing a huge base of knowledge. It's like one of their ideas is that if one of our engineers knows how to do something, all of our engineers know how to do it, which allows us to take on a ton of projects. And it also allows us to kind of multi-thread our learning, right? Where we have 5 new engineers and all 5 of them could be learning totally different things. But by the end of all their projects, our whole office has gained the knowledge from all of those, right? And what that mindset leads to is a really, really awesome environment where I can go ask people for help and they'll just help me. And it's not really ever a big deal. Like they might be busy, they might not respond. No one's ever made me feel bad about it. Nobody's ever said, no, figure it out yourself. No one's ever said, I'm not going to tell you how to do that. But then I started being the guy giving out the help. And I think the idea that you had, Connor, with you gaining something from it is like, that doesn't just have to be some like cheeky way to like look at it to like trick yourself into feeling good about it. It literally is. Like that's literally what's happening. You as humans are like gaining something together from this experience. And there have been times where like I've run into a problem that I've thought I've known the answer and I've been like, oh, actually I have no idea what's going on here. And now it's 2 minds working on a suddenly more difficult problem. And I always make an effort where if I have to like, if I'm at the point where like I'm not really helping them anymore, where it's like, you probably need to try these things, I'll be like, whenever you figure it out, find me, because I want to know what the answer to the problem was, And I think to bring us all the way back to like the abstract idea of like the ownership of time, I think that there's a lot of value that you can gain even from those experiences that you'll totally miss if you're focused on spending time the way you want to spend it. The way I've always seen it, not always seen it, but the way I've recently seen it, in a way that's like really helped me deal with the future and help me cope with the fact that not every single step I take right now is like putting me towards my goal. It's the idea that I actually know so little that I don't even know what the best is for me. I literally cannot possibly know. Like the job I do right now, I didn't even know existed, but I love it and it pays me well and I'm like happy doing it. But if I would have picked exactly what I wanted to choose, I would have never picked this because I didn't even know it was out there. To think that like the best way to quote unquote spend your time, it's like a tremendous amount of arrogance. And you will miss out on opportunities that will literally change your life if you allow these moments to happen.
That is a great way to put it.
Yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful call out of thinking. Not for me specifically, I wouldn't say, but that is a call out and a good one. thinking you know exactly what the best course of action for you is. And going back to kind of the helping other people and not realizing that your time isn't really your time. Time is it's there. I've personally experienced it pretty recently as well with this small little community that I'm in out here in the forest, and in the sense that we live with a lot of older people around. Our neighbors are mostly 60, 70 and up. And even just today when I was working, the same guy who had, took essentially a whole, not a whole day, but a good couple of hours to come and talk about how we would line up the electricity for the Porsche and all of that. He just gave me that time visit without a second thought. And just today he came by because another one of our neighbors needed help with something, and we've all kind of sort of shifted into this tight knit community where it's so easy to just ask your neighbor for help, and that's something that I've never really gotten to experience until I've been out here. And for a quick 20 minutes, I went on to another older gentleman's farm, and we helped him lift a fountain out of his koi pond, which is I wouldn't say the craziest thing, but it was a fun little time that I just kind of got to get away from whatever I was doing, even though it wasn't really in my plan. And I found myself not really being annoyed at all about it, but just kind of happy that I got to have that connection, even if it was just a quick 20 minutes of my time or of time.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, and here's another thing I thought about with like that whole training example too. With you, David, and that retired electrician, with me and like these new guys coming along in my HVAC field, Seth, with you and like these engineers asking you questions, we were all in that place at one point in time. We were brand new, didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Mhm.
So now you are in that place to where you can help out these other people that don't know what they're doing. It is like, it's a great feeling, first of all, being in that place, being able to help other people. Maybe there is some narcissism along with it. Half half empty. Sorry. But
He caught himself though. He caught himself.
I caught myself that time. But also it's like whenever you were in their shoes, you would have wanted the help. You would have wanted that, that lifeline to kind of help you figure out the situation. So it is nice that you can be that lifeline to someone else.
I
You know?
think, yeah, I completely agree with you, man. It's because it's almost beautiful in a sense where, passing on knowledge. So, okay, I used to do back in like high school and middle school, maybe some of elementary school. I can't remember, probably. But I used to do taekwondo. And when I was a kid, obviously I was in the kids class. I had people mentoring me. But then as I got older, I got like in high school, I began mentoring like the kids. And it really is a beautiful thing to watch people grow and you be part of that process. Not because you, and this is a thing that I think Screwtape would be angry about, like this thought process. But like, not doing it because you want to take pride in yourself for like kind of like give yourself credit for their accomplishments, but like it's beautiful and like prideful in the sense of like it's a humility thing where like you see the accomplishment but you take yourself out but you're just proud of the accomplishment. It's like that, and seeing the people you mentor grow and become like their characters develop, become better individuals and better at the craft or whatever they're doing, whatever they're learning, it's truly a remarkable thing um to watch, especially when like you're mentoring like kids and like as they grow into like teenagers and like adults and stuff. It's so cool to watch them become like these well-rounded like individuals who have blossomed in a sense, bloomed, and it's really cool. It's a really cool feeling.
Yeah. I kind of want to switch this a little bit because I feel like most of our examples have been about doing things you don't want to do. But I think there's another side to this, which is not doing things that you wanted to do, or the aspect of having an opportunity taken away from you. So like, for example, I remember back in college, I was just obsessed with the idea of having something every weekend, just pack them full, never stop, always be doing something. And if there was a weekend that I didn't have something to do, I felt like a failure. I was like, what am I doing? I only get so many weekends. I've wasted this one. Right. And I think that idea of, again, time not being mine and it being a gift makes me change the way I would want to see stuff like that. And I think nowadays, the weekends where I don't have to do anything, the older I get, the weekends where I don't have to do anything, yeah, that's a gift in and of itself.
It's that change in perspective. And let me bring something back to the book specifically, where in the same chapter he says, let me read it. And if the enemy appeared to him in bodily form and demanded that total service for even one day, he would not refuse. He would be greatly relieved if that one day involved nothing harder than listening to the conversation of a foolish woman, and he would be relieved almost to the pitch of disappointment if for 1/2 hour in the day the enemy said, "Now you may go and amuse yourself."
Yeah.
It ties exactly into what you just said. That time of that time alone being a gift in and of itself, being something that you can revel in. And it's funny how he says almost to the pitch of disappointment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Relieved.
Yeah.
So relieved, almost disappointed. Like, I've never thought about those two feelings being close to each other.
It's such a good idea though, because it's like your time's not it goes back to like, your time's given to you. It's not something you own. And it's trying to say, you should use it for helping others and stuff like that, right? And like you shouldn't
Mhm.
be so angry that you're not getting to do what you want to do with your time,
Mhm.
right? You should be almost grateful in a sense that this is all you have to do and like for your duty, for
Hmm.
your time, you know? And
Grateful that you have the time at
you,
all, right?
it's the
Yeah.
it's glass half full. Yeah, yeah, grateful that you have time in general. Like rather than be like, man, I own this. This is mine. Like I don't want to waste any of it. But it should be more of like the positive perspective. Like, man, I'm just happy. I'm here. I have this time. I get to spend it with people. I get to meet someone new. I get to learn
Mhm.
about them. And like all that stuff. It's turning into more of like the opportunity that you have with your current moment versus being annoyed that it's not what you might want to do exactly for your current moment.
Mhm.
It's a powerful
I
effect.
think I think one of the ways that, and this is going to move us a little further forward. This is actually in the very end of the last chapter, but I think it's relevant. One of the ways that it is always easy to, if you want to contextualize your time as a gift, uh, saying, I'm the least interested in knowing how many people in England have been killed by bombs, in what state of mind they died. I can learn from the office at this end. That they were going to die sometime, I knew already. Being like, I don't care how they died. They were going to die anyways. Like, it was going to happen. It was going to come. I think that that belief can lead one or two ways. And I think for a lot of people, it leads to, well, now I need my time to be exactly how I want it because I could die at any moment. And I don't want to waste any of it, right? When I want to recontextualize it for me personally is the idea of, it's like every single day is a gift and I should be grateful to have it at all. And even if it's spent doing the most monotonous, boring task ever, it's better than not having it, you know?
All
Because
you
that's
need to
kind of,
do is something monotonous and boring too, right? Oh, that's
Yeah.
all you had to do. Gain
Yeah.
that gift.
Yeah, you don't have to like you don't have to do anything crazy, just
Yeah.
yeah, just be grateful for it. Um, there's one more thing I want to talk about. If anyone else has anything or wants to talk about anything else.
Run it.
All right, it was page 127. Um, it was the end of like the second to last chapter. Um, it's the idea of like the historical Jesus and Christianity and all this stuff. And I think like the part that I'm going to read kind of sums it all up. Um, it's I'm just going to be a little bit. It's going to start like the bottom of page 126. The thing to do is to get a man at first to value social justice as a thing which the enemy demands, and then work him on the stage at which he values Christianity because it may produce social justice. For the enemy will not be used as a convenience. Men or nations who think they can revive the faith in order to make a good society might just as well think they can use the stairs of heaven as a shortcut to the nearest chemist shop. Fortunately, it is quite easy to coax humans around this little corner. Only today, I have found a passage in a Christian writer where he recommends his own version of Christianity on the ground that only such a faith can outlast the death of old cultures and the birth of new civilizations. End quote. You see the little rift? End quote. Believe this, not because it is true, but for some other reason. End quote. That's the game. And so there's like two main ideas here that I take away from this. And one is using not not aiming, not almost like not doing things because it's like the right way to do it or the Christian way to do it, but using the right way or or like the fact that like it's Christian as a means to like do your goals, It's
Mhm.
almost like pretending you're doing the right thing because for the selfish reasons of like doing your goals versus doing your goals because it's the right thing. And I think that that's something people do. And the other thing I also think is that people don't even recognize they do it sometimes. I think people get
Mhm.
so caught up in the idea that they're doing the right thing that they say, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this because it's the right thing," you know. And they probably believe that they're like, "Yeah, I do want to do this because it's the right thing," but they're trying to say, "I'm only doing this because it's the right thing, not I am doing this." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was something that's kind of like really interesting, like something that's really easy to fall into as well. You know. The other thing I got from this too was at the very bottom where it's like you see the little riff, believe this not because it's true, but for some other reason. It's the idea of like kind of goes back to like all the way to the very beginning where it's like have them believe in like the emotional things, but not don't make them think. Don't make them actually have logical reasoning on it. So make them
Yeah.
think like of what the truth actually is, you know, which I think is like the main probably um, point of the book, right? We kind of you said someone mentioned that earlier about how it's to be self-realizing, to see the
Yeah.
truth, right?
Awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Deep, deep awareness.
there's two ways to go with this. I do want to come back to the believe this not because it's true, but for some other reason, because I thought that was kind of a banger line.
yeah, me too.
Um, and I think it hits today. Not like today
True.
specifically, but in this moment, I feel like that one that one resonated with me in a not so fun way. Um, but I think the idea of like using Christianity for your own means. This chapter is the one where they talk about the idea of, or is that the next one? Oh yeah, it leads into the chapter where they talk about Christianity as like a set, as like a little in group of people who do things the right way, versus the people who do things the wrong way. Look at those silly little sinners over there. Aren't they so stupid, right? And that is the kind of thinking that allows people to do horrible things in the name of God, um, because everybody else is just a sinner, right? They're not one of us. Um, why would how they feel about this matter? you know. I think we all probably have some pretty strong examples of that exact behavior in our lives. And I think it's a shame and I think it's not something that's just specific to Christianity either. I think there's a lot of people who like have a belief about the way things are seen, and they that belief is not founded on the desire for truth. It's founded on the fact that it's convenient. It allows them to keep doing what they already wanted to do and justifies the behaviors that they want to justify.
That is such a major, I think, problem in today's world is where people read or look at things not to figure out the truth or like understand something, but solely for the fact that it justifies their own opinion.
Yeah.
Right. I think we see that a lot today.
Yeah.
It's that innate tribalism within people, I would say.
They want to surround themselves with people that think the same way that they do.
Yeah.
They go into the past. He said, I'm gonna read this. I think ties very closely in. He must make to feel he better not put it into words, thinking of it emotionally, not logically, of course, because Screwtape doesn't want that. How different we Christians are, and by we Christians he must really, but unknowingly, mean my set, and by my set he must mean not the people who in their charity and humility have accepted me, but the people with whom I associate by right. False sense of
right.
ownership again.
Yeah.
It comes back to it.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
You're entitled to it because that's my right.
yeah. Where the patient meets this like Christian family, and initially it's like, wow, I'm so unworthy to be around them. But eventually it's like, oh no, actually, I'm meant to be here. These were the people I was meant to be around all along. I'm just as good. And it's not that you should think that you're like lesser than the people around you. It's like this idea that there's a lot of, the more we talk about it, the more I realize there's a lot of really actually consistent themes in all of these ideas. It's the idea of patting yourself on the back for like being around good people, when in reality their existence is a gift. The fact that they were near you is like a blessing to you, you know.
Yeah, it's the whole like a different perspective. Again, the perspective of like what my means, right? This passage on 114, I think really like ties in everything we're trying to say. Um, Even in the nursery, a child can be taught to mean by my teddy bear, not the old imagined recipient of affection to whom it stands in a special relation. For that is what the enemy will teach him to mean if we are not careful. But the bear I can pull to pieces if I like. It's not my as in like, oh, I love this thing. Like it like we are like it's mine. Like we're affectionate. Like this is awesome. I love this. But like your ownership of it, like you have control of this thing, you know?
Yeah.
The whole like king gives his son like these cities out of love, but then like is ruled by like an elder council, but he believes he owns the city just like he owned the floor of the nursery. That whole bit
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it could tie into where they talk about the two imaginary women, a terrestrial and an infernal Venus. The, that his desires, the difference in what really stands out to me for this is where he talks about there's another type which he desires brutally and desires to desire brutally, a type best used to draw him away from marriage altogether, but which even within marriage he would tend to treat as a slave, an idol, or an accomplice.
Yeah. A slave. Like it's
Mine. I get to do what I want.
mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. So about communism.
Yeah, Connor, what were you saying about communism?
Listen, we were talking
So-
about unity. I think communism.
since ownership's so bad,
Yeah.
Hmm. Give
What
it
if
all
we
to
don't own
everyone.
anything?
I want to
the
do some. Well, actually, finish off, Seth.
no, this is a joke. I was just gonna say the slow descent from capitalist podcast to communist podcast.
God, guys, we're gonna be labeled by the FBI.
No, for real.
I'm already on a no-fly list. I can't be on another one. All right.
I do want to just do some rapid fire things real fast about Screwtape himself, and something that I found
Oh, yes.
interesting in some of these chapters, and specifically the one that I'm talking about. Well, there's two of them. One, he really went off on that girl. He
Bro,
was
I
he was
know.
he really
Dude,
He was pissed.
yeah.
he was
Bro,
mad.
bro,
What
he
did
was also
he?
mad about like how like he couldn't understand why like God was like actually like love people, like knowing there had to be a
Hmm.
reason to find it. He got like really
Yeah.
angry about that too.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like it's really starting to show like it's really interesting how we're starting to see Screwtape's character. Like, we're starting to see
Yeah.
more about who Screwtape
He turned into
is.
a centipede, didn't he? He morphed. He
Yeah.
Yeah.
morphed in that one chapter. And one
Yeah.
thing that
He got
really,
so
really
mad he
called
like
me.
transformed.
Yeah, one thing that really called to my attention was when he was talking about that, Howie, when he was talking about this idea that he couldn't fathom of the enemy loving just the it. Seth, can you help me out here? What was it?
The 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 disinterested love.
Thank you so much. When he was trying to fathom and think about it, and he kept talking about they're trying. They've had researchers and they're trying to do their best. It was so funny to me when he said Screwtape himself. Yet we must never lose hope.
Mm.
That
Mm,
coming out of Screwtape, who's been dogging on and I don't know if I would say dogging on it, but using that idea of hope to try to corrupt this patient that Wormwood is trying to corrupt. It was just I don't know. It just kind of it was a funny little tidbit to me, and then
Yeah.
that on top of something that I kind of been glazing over this entire time. What your affectionate uncle
He has
Screwtape
yeah, I've never thought about that.
yeah.
He
coming
always
from
signs off.
Screwtape?
Your
That's just
affectionate uncle,
Well,
Screwtape.
you guys remember how at the beginning it was like in the not the epilogue, the oh my gosh, what's it called? Anyways, it's like the very beginning, the preface, where it was
Mhm,
like, remember, devil's lie. I don't think that really hit until I think like these few chapters, where it was
Yeah.
like, dude, Screwtape has definitely been lying in like some parts of this book. You
even
know,
to
Yeah.
he keeps on like
himself.
going back on himself. He keeps on like double like guessing and like doing all this stuff, and it was like really interesting how like I don't know, man, it's just interesting.
Or the part where he kind of goes off and he's like, whatever you do, don't show anyone these letters. And if you do, I'll make you regret it. Like hide these from other people seeing them. Like I've heard that you might be sharing what I'm saying in here and you need to keep it to yourself. Like just slimy. Like,
Yeah,
it where he know yeah, I think it's his character is starting to really show, which is awesome. It's so fun.
there's like a little side story behind it.
Hmm.
There's like a little narrative that makes it cool.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but it's kind of beautiful because he's showing like these characteristics of what he's trying to get the patient to be, you
Yes.
know? And
Mm,
it's poetic, you know?
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, you're right. I didn't even think about it. It's like
Yeah. Because
like
like
he's
they're
becoming
trying, yeah, he's trying to make, the patient into like a little devil, you know?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Which is why he doesn't like understand this stuff and why he gets so upset about it. Because he's
Yeah.
like, man, this is like actual like good people, good things. Like the what was it, Seth? The
Yeah, what is it?
The disinterested love.
yeah, like that stuff. Like that's why he gets so angry about it because he's like a little devil. He just doesn't understand. He doesn't want that to be like an actual thing. He gets so annoyed by it. You know.
Like think like the emotional responses, like everything, man.
Yeah.
bro
It's
really turned into a
interesting.
whole centipede.
Yeah, I mean,
I
and
know
it's
that was so. I actually really enjoyed that part.
yeah, it was. I was like, what is going on? It's so interesting too because when he turns into a centipede, like you talked about how he always signs off your affectionate uncle. He signs off this one In my present form, I feel even more anxious to see you, to unite you to myself in an indissoluble embrace. Like, it's like the more angry he gets, the more he just like,
Come here.
I need you. I want you. Like, it's, yeah, exactly.
Like he wants to
Fucking,
take, dude. It's like he wants to take. Oh my gosh. So you know how the like Wormwood is like trying to get his patient to like almost like assimilate with Wormwood so he can like enjoy their like
Life
dissatisfaction and
force.
just yeah, their life
mm-hmm.
force. It's like Screwtape is trying to do that with Wormwood
When,
to try to take
oh,
his like life force.
Try to
they
take
can't.
Wait.
ownership.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole thing is him trying to take ownership. He's trying to tell him how to do his job, like the
Yeah,
whole
he's
time.
trying to take
Yeah.
ownership of the patient. He's trying to take ownership of Wormwood.
And it's like
Wow.
it's
Signing
like
it off as
not
an affectionate
bro,
uncle because I care about you. I want to see you do
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
it's not
Sure it
just
is.
like it's not just like what he's telling us like so like we have what he's like writing to us and like the satirical the call outs that we obviously know are like guidelines, but we're also getting more guidelines from Screwtape himself and how he's acting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It makes me really curious as to how this book may end.
Dude, do you guys think like I mean this makes me wonder like maybe at the end of it we're gonna see just Wormwood in a completely utter state of despair and Screwtape just like up ahead
Just like,
thinking yeah
yes.
like I have him now.
Feeding on the
I
weak,
can't
the
wait.
smaller
Then,
demons.
yeah, and we're almost at the end,
I
right?
mean we have one more yeah
Yeah,
we're
and
in the last part.
the next book club is the last part
Okay,
of Screwtape Letters.
so we don't have a misunderstanding. We are reading Screwtape Proposes a Toast, like the last part of the book. We're reading all the way through the whole thing,
I
right?
th-
Okay.
I
Yes,
think
I
so. I think
think
we
we
should.
should. We'll
Okay.
Yeah, I
probably
think
take 2 weeks for this one because this one seems like a little bigger of a
yeah.
chunk.
It
we're
is a
gonna read
Sounds
chunk.
pretty
all the way
fun.
to the barcode. All right.
All the way to the barcode.
Yeah, okay, that's yeah, I
I
mean
don't have a
that's
barcode at
like
the end.
Well,
I'm reading all the way to 209.
that is 80 pages. Oh my
yeah, I think
god.
that's 84 pages or 74. So we have quite yeah, so I think 2 weeks is definitely fair. This is gonna be I mean it's like half the book or a third.
Yeah, a third of book. Yeah, it's a whole third of the book.
Yeah, Screwtape Proposes a Toast in itself is like 30 pages.
Wait, dude,
It'll be
I'm
a fun
actually
one.
so curious how this is gonna end.
Yeah, I know,
Is
me
Wormwood
too.
gonna assimilate with Screwtape? Is Wormwood gonna get eaten? Is he gonna get punished for his dog shit work? 'Cause that's what I've been getting here.
So it sounds like, yeah.
He said, your punishment is coming. I can't protect you." And then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, everything I said in the last letter, it was a lie. I'll protect you." Blah blah blah.
Oh man.
That's a fun.
Goofy.
All right,
Well,
boys.
I guess we'll plan out next time. I guess like not next
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, probably Tuesday after.
Yeah, Tuesday or
Um,
Thursday after. Any of
yeah,
those two work for me.
Try to
sounds
get
good,
to
boys.
Screwtape Proposes a Toast by next Tuesday, though. Feel like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Got to
Yeah,
at least get there,
for sure.
boys.
I'll write
All
some
right,
talking. I'll
boys.
see if I can't write some talking points for real this time.
He's coming.
Because I
Time
enjoy
to
I
list.
enjoy the outside conversation that kind of ties in with the book. It's very fun.
Yeah.
A
Is
lot more personable.
do you
And
guys
then we
want
get to
to
spin the wheel.
and you
Yeah,
guys
the
spin the
wheel. Oh,
wheel?
I'm excited to get a new. I've genuinely never been this excited whenever we do the wheel. Never get that excited to get a new book.
Yeah, I know it's so much fun every time. You're like, oh,
It
it's
really,
new.
for me, it's a new form of excitement that I never thought I'd experience. But I'm so happy I get to. It
What a good
truly is a
idea.
gift.
What a
It'll be
good
so
idea.
fun.
All right,
All right,
boys.
boys.
Get some
Good
rest.
night.
Yep, we'll see y'all. Have a good night.
Good
Have
night.
fun
You
on
too.
Stardew Valley,
Okay.
Seth. See
See y'all.
y'all.
Thank you for listening to today's book club. If you want to support us, please feel free to leave a rating and review on wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, so either one of those would be great help. Also, leave a follow. That'd be amazing too. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, please leave some comments, like the video, subscribe. Another way you can help support us is we are Amazon affiliates, which means you'll see in the description wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast on the episode, there will be a link to the book that we are currently covering, or if we spin the wheel to select our next book, you'll also see a link to the next book that we will be covering as well. And these links are to the books that the exact same books that we are reading during the podcast. So, if you're going to read the book anyways, it'd be a great help if you could use the link. It's going to be no additional cost to you, and we do get a small percentage of the proceeds. So you get a book, and we also get a benefit. It's a win-win, honestly. And even if you don't get, like, even if you don't use the link, I still recommend getting the book. One, because it helps to read what we're reading, so you can kind of have some more context into what we are discussing, as well as having your own book. We're not covering everything in the book on the podcast. That's impossible to do in an hour and a half, and so it allows you to get some really nice information in there that again we just can't cover. And it also allows you to annotate your own book. So, if years down the line, you can kind of come back to the book, kind of remind yourself on the lessons you learned. And, if you reread it again, you can have almost like a conversation with yourself back in time too. It's really an investment to, I think, read and buy books. So again, thank you for listening to Book Club, and can't wait to catch you in the next one.